A little bit about you. I just want to reassure you that everything that we talk about today is going to be confidential, unless we identify any medical conditions, which I'd obviously speak to you and we could then refer on to the GP. So just to let you know what's going to happen today, we're going to go through some health screening assessments. I'm going to do your weight, then we are going to look at your resting heart rate. I'm going to find out a little bit more about you, talk about what I can offer, what's within my scope of practice, and then we'll make a plan from there. Okay, so if you're happy with all that, if you could just please sign on here.
Yes. Where do I sign?
Oh, just there, just great. Thank you. Okay, brilliant. So, I've got some few details about you, your date of birth, I've got your height. So if we could just weigh you today, and then, because I know your BMI is something that's important to you from our previous conversations, and then, and then we can just, I can work out your BMI, and then we will look at your resting heart rate.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Obviously you've got your Apple Watch there.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to weigh you 3 times just to make sure that it's accurate. So if you'd like to step on the scales. Okay, brilliant, 72.4. Then if you let that clear, just do it a couple more times. Oh, it's because it's one of those posh scales that does all your water and all that thing. Yeah. Okay, and again. Brilliant, well done. So I'll make a note of that. And I'll use that data to calculate your BMI, and we can use that as a benchmark moving forward. So I'm just going to take your resting heart rate, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I just need to find your pulse on your left hand. Oh, excuse my nail. Okay. So I'm just going to take that for 15 seconds. Okay, brilliant. And then I'll times that by 4 just to get the calculation for 60 seconds. And then I know we're going to talk a little bit about running, so we'll be able to use that then as a baseline when we look at that.
Okay.
So if you could just let me know why you're here today.
So I'm running the London Marathon in October. Before I properly start training, I'd like to lose some weight. Over the last few years, having 2 children, going through a few lockdowns and stuff like that, my weight has increased quite dramatically. So it's really important to me to lose about 2 stone, and then I want to start marathon training. I want to have a proper plan to keep to, increase my strength, get myself really fit, and then try and get a really good marathon time. And also feel better in myself, because at the moment, well, over the last few months I haven't felt great from weight gain and feeling tired, sluggish, so I just want to improve myself in general.
Okay, well the first step is to take action, so well done for getting yourself here today. So you've run the London Marathon before, so you've got a time in mind that you want to beat?
Yeah, last time I ran it was 2019.
Yeah.
And that was, I think it was 5.5 hours. I was on track to be a bit quicker than that. I ran with a friend who hurt her knee, and we ran together. I'm hoping this time I could do it in about 4.5 hours.
Okay, good. So that's something we can use to work back on. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your lifestyle at the moment. Like, what do you do for work? What's your home life like? Hobbies, etc.?
So I am a self-employed accountant, work for myself, but I'm also fitting my hours in around 2 young children. One's at school, one's not started school yet, so I have him at home during the week as well. My husband works shifts, so we're just constantly working around each other. So everything's very hectic, busy, not very much downtime.
Okay, so would you say, well, next thing we're going to move on to is obviously barriers. Would you say like time is a specific barrier?
Massive barrier, yeah.
So I'm presuming, like from what you've said, you wouldn't be able to commit to a specific time. Say, I don't know, you're going to train on a Monday evening every week for the next 6 weeks, because that won't necessarily fit in with your husband's shifts. So you need something that's a bit flexible.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. And then maybe we could think about like shorter workouts that I can program and you can do from home. Like obviously running is quite accessible because you can just walk out your front door, so you can fit that in and around. What about we've obviously looked at your food diary and your diet, made some recommendations on that. So will you carry on using MyFitnessPal to keep tracking where you are with that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and what sorts of things do you like doing in terms of your exercise?
I like running. I like strength training. The classes which you hold, I really enjoy.
Is there anything you really don't like? So you like do not program this?
Not really, no.
No?
Yeah, things like burpees I hate, but
You love hate.
They're good for you.
Yeah,
so,
love hate. Everyone loves hates burpees. Okay, so if I said then your overarching goal was to lose fat and gain muscle, and to complete the London Marathon in around 4.5 hours. Okay, so that's our ultimate long-term goal.
Yeah.
So short term, we're going to carry on. I think obviously we'll chat about these, about using MFP to track your food and keep continuing with the education around like what a healthy diet looks like. In terms of your weight loss, we'll aim for healthy weight loss is about 1 to 2 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yes.
To make sure that you feel a little bit more confident in yourself. And I know from your food diary you said about your alcohol intake, so short term maybe we'll just look at reducing that slightly, maybe just think, oh, I'll drink at the weekends, or I'll just have 1 drink in the evening. So I know we've already looked at that a little bit, and we'll improve our 5k time in the short term.
Yeah.
So look to get a race booked in if you've got always better, I think, to get a race
I have
booked
found
in.
one for March which I'll book.
Yeah, great timing. Okay, that's perfect. And then medium term, to look at again continue on your healthy diet, to try and give you some tools to overcome any challenges, because I know like previously you've had challenges around like timing and motivation, so we'll work on how we can develop some strategies to get rid of that. We've talked about your sleep, that it's a bit sporadic, so we can...
I need to get to bed earlier. Yeah.
It's hard though, isn't it, when you've got
especially with work as well, because they go to bed, I log on, I want to get stuff finished, and then before you know it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and then your mind is buzzing, so you can't then switch off. And then medium term, we'll look at improving our 10k time. Longer term, we'll still continue around education around healthy diet, and also then about, because it'll be coming up to the marathon time, we'll talk about how we can adapt our diet for marathon training, because that'd be really important. I want you to feel confident and happy. We'll increase your CV fitness and strength, and ultimately you'll smash your previous marathon time. So they're the things that we want to achieve. The how we're going to achieve those is obviously we're going to need to do a series of fitness tests initially, so we can get the benchmark of where you are now. So what that will look like is a 12-minute Cooper run test, where you run for 12 minutes and we see how far you get. We can use that as a benchmark for you, but also we can have a look where you are in the wider population in terms of your fitness levels. And in terms of increasing our strength, we will have a look at doing some 1 rep max testing. So we'll look at deadlift, a back squat, a push press, and we'll also look at a plank we'll work on improving your core and stability. So again, we'll have a great benchmark for that. And we'll look at developing a plan around programming to develop your strength, 12-week plan, and also a 12-week plan to improve your run time. So that will include some easy runs, some interval running, and that will be based around achieving your marathon time in the longer term. But I think if we work towards improving your 10k time initially, and then obviously we'll talk a bit more about your marathon time when that happens, And running you can fit in anywhere and any time, so that will be good, and that will work well within your lifestyle. And also I'll look at programming a series of home workouts as well, so you can fit them in and around your busy family life. And we'll also obviously continue to use my fitness pal to track your food.
Yeah.
Have you got Strava? Do you use Strava?
I do, yes.
So that's,
although I don't know how to.
and you've got your
link it
Apple
up.
Watch,
Yeah.
so that would be great. So we can
Yeah.
track progress on there, and I can keep up to date with that. We can have regular discussions. We'll probably have a weekly check-in and see how you're feeling, how your mood is, how your sleep is.
Yeah.
You can obviously, I've got access to MFP, so I can have a look how your food's going. So that'll be in the short term and the medium term, and the long term. Like less reliance on me as a personal trainer, so you're more educated around food, you know more bit about what you're doing in the gym, so you feel a lot more confident. You want to be lifting heavier, moving better, feeling stronger, feeling more confident, reducing your BMI. Is there anything, obviously beating your marathon time, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you...
Is the box jump included, or is
The
that
box
separate?
jump, no, that's the same. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're going to look at improving your power really, and increasing, because I know that's something that you personally want to achieve. So we'll test where we are with that initially, and then we'll look at building on that, and we'll measure that in terms of the height of your vertical jump.
Okay.
As and when you feel confident, obviously we'll increase the height. So that is all for me. Have you got any questions?
No, I think you've covered everything, thank you.
Okay, so in a week's time we'll check back in, we'll book an appointment for a week's time, we'll see how everything's going. Obviously the programming is, we can work with it if you're finding things that aren't working for you or not fitting in for you, or you feel, oh actually I need some reassurance that I'm doing this movement right or this movement right. Please feel free to contact me at any point.
Yeah.
And I think that's it.
Okay, thank
Brilliant.
you.
Thank you, Esme.